of 56. She's racing off a mark of 46. That's obviously quite a while ago. And she's run a couple of times here since as well. That was on good ground as well. So, but she can go well here. She won at Naas back in July, beat Annie Lavinia of Eddie Lynham's off a mark of 45. And she's up to a mark of 46, so just a pound higher now than she was. And she did go up into the 50s after that, but been dropping kind of steadily down the handicap and has worn a visor before. She didn't wear it last time in a claimer at Laytown when she finished third behind Liz McBrien Hill, and that was obviously at a lower level, but back in here now off a mark of 46. She's got a chance.
That's a good look at them then, ahead of Mallow Handicap. I'm Spartacus, who's declared for Bellestown in a couple of days' time. Has been really busy since a break, reappeared in June, and then ninth run this is since then. Runs every couple of weeks or so of late, and lines up here at 7-2. But it's 11-4 shot Ukio, who heads them from Sovereign Banter at 9-2, and American in Paris 5-1. Easy to back, step back in time, and a bit of money for Shoebox King. So it's moving 11-4 Ukio at the top of the market, Gary.
Yes, I think Ukio was already one of the more interesting candidates here, Tom, and the market support would only add to that. It's been dropped £6 since we saw her last. Robert Weirty takes over in the saddle today. Hasn't shown a huge amount on in 2 starts for Gavin Cromwell, but there was definite promise in a couple of runs last year for the now retired Pat Martin, who's gone to work for Gavin, of course, now as Pat. And the horse obviously went in the same direction. Would you be looking elsewhere or taking heed of that?
She wasn't top of my list. Gary, Sovereign Banter was top of my list this morning. You definitely have to put Ukio onto the list now. She was probably on the coattails of it this morning, but yeah, like she's had 4 runs in maidens down the field, and all 4 runs for Pat Martin, as you say, and then her 2 runs for Gavin Cromwell. Her last run was better than her first run when she finished 6th behind Skillman Avenue off a mark of 56. She's down to a mark of 50 now, and obviously there's plenty of confidence behind her now, so that's hugely significant coming from the Gavin Cromwell yard.
Just loading up there, Dylan McMonagle's mounts American in Paris, who was third in a claimer at Laytown last time. I had Devil's Angel back and forth that day. Devil's Angel was actually sent off favourite for that particular contest. There is Ukio over on the far side, number 5. Just her 7th career start today. And she's amongst the later loaders here, Devil's Angel and Réponse Finale also out the back. Here comes Romantic War, who would appear to be very much up against it. A 66 to 1 shot currently. Ground yielding on both tracks now here at Cork after a bit of rain earlier on in the day. Ukio just about to slot in, and that will leave, I think, just 2 to go. So we'll join Justin once again for our 4th race of the afternoon.
3 more. Shoebox King going into stall 10 for Julian Pietropaolo. Just the 2 greys to go. The almost white grey Devil's Angel and Nicola Burns going into 6. Last to go will be Réponse Finale and Alan Casey into stall 8. That's it, all set for the Mallow Handicap. And they're off. Very level break indeed towards the far side. Both Romantic War and American in Paris are showing up well towards the left of the picture. In the centre, Step Back in Time with Shoebox King, and towards the stand side, Sovereign Banter, all showing up well with Jazzy Dancer and Ukio. So it's this quintet who have the lead as they head through the first furlong and a half. And it's Ukio who's come through to lead now for Rob Weirty from in the centre. Step Back in Time and Colin King. Shoebox King is upside him. Towards the far side, the red jacket of Jazzy Dancer. Towards the stand side, Sovereign Banter in the striped sleeves. Behind those races, American in Paris has come more towards the centre of the track. Towards the stand side is Réponse Finale. Behind those, I'm Spartacus being ridden. Romantic War is just in behind them. As the race down towards the 2. And towards the far side, it's Ukio with the advantage from Step Back in Time in the centre. Towards the stand side, Sovereign Banter. Behind those is Shoebox King. Ponce Final tries to keep on behind those. Towards the far side, Jazzy Dancer followed through by Spartacus, but racing down inside the final furlong and a half, it's Sovereign Banter who's come through towards the stand side to challenge Yukio. Keeping on behind those is Ponce Final, but it's Yukio on the far side. Sovereign Banter the stand side, not a lot to choose between the two. Yukio on the far side with the overall advantage under Rob Weary, and is going to score by about a length in the end. Yukio the winner. Sovereign Banter with Ponce Final coming home well in third. American and Paris 4, and they finished clear of the rest.
Today was the day for Yukio. Returns the 100-30 winner of our fourth race of the afternoon. A slow burner in 2 starts for Gavin Cromwell before today, but this was a really weak affair, and market support arrived and Yukio has delivered. Travel well over on the far side. Difficult to tell, was she headed on by Sovereign Banter? It looked as though Sovereign Banter at least maybe got level at one stage, but throughout that last furlong it was Yukio who was, I think, pretty much always on top.
Yeah, she's on the far side, Sovereign Banter coming down towards the near side, and it was a good scrap between them through the final furlong of the race. But Yukio, yeah, she's taken on a lot of horses here who are just exposed horses. She's lightly raced. She's got the potential to improve again. Dropped to a mark of 50 from a mark of 56 after her last run at Tipperary over 5 furlongs. Stepped back up to 6 furlongs today, and yeah, she's started nicely. Just kind of got away on level terms, but Robert Weirdy quickly had her on the front end and led for much of the way, I'd say.
Yes, there was plenty of pace on Shoebox King. Back from an absence today, went forward. So too did another one who was off the track for a while, Jazzy Dancer. Those two have had a good blowout today, if nothing else. Step back in time. Also prominent from the word go under Colin Keane. But it was the two on opposite flanks who in the end really dominated here. Yukio in the purple and white and Sovereign Banter on the stand side. Sovereign Banter, just trying to hear, did he hang on for second?
I think he was second, all right, yeah. Look, I think there's plenty of upside to Sovereign Banter, Gary. It was first run for Andy Slattery the last day here, and I was trained by the late Edward O'Reilly before that, but it was a promising run the last day when he was drawn and stalled 13 towards the near side. He was prominent early as he was here and just kind of faded through the final furlong. He's back at a furlong and trip here to 6 furlongs and on better ground, and the blinkers that he hadn't worn blinkers before. He's worn chickies and advisor blinkers on today. He's run well. He's probably stepped forward from his run the last day and maybe just a little bit unlucky to bump into one today.
Another look at the closing stages then. Yukio, the filly by Caroccio for Gavin Cromwell in the first law syndicate winning it. Time will tell whether she's able to follow up, but she was certainly found a very weak race today, and she's taken full advantage and was nicely back to do so, Tom.
Yeah, it was. You're one of those, I think, if your connection to the second is run great, but you've hit one who's been well found in the market eventually and well backed. Third start for the yard and hadn't shown a huge amount. This was winnable. Northern Foreign Maidens coming into that start for the new yard, and yeah, today was definitely the day. They found the right race, and off a mark of 50, she has run a good deal better than the opening mark of 57. Dropped just £1 for the first of them, then another 6, and we'll see when we see her again. She's